Senator Angara is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. I'd like to ask a few questions from Secretary of National Security, Secretary Garcia, Cesar Garcia, Madam Chair. I'd like to ask, what was the situation with Marwan? Why was Marwan such a big target? And why was it important to keep the, in your view, was it a correct decision to keep the operation top secret?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, the operations against Zulkifli bin here, alias Marwan, a Malaysian terrorist who is included in the United Nations 1267 sanctions list of terrorists, was part of a larger security operations mounted during the papal visit in January 2015. As a backgrounder, where it was confirmed that His Holiness Pope Francis will come to the Philippines, our intelligence community went into high gear to gather information and better assess the security threats to the Pope. By the third quarter of 2014, the initial intelligence estimate on the papal visit was completed and presented to the President and the Cabinet Cluster on Security. In our estimate, we assessed that the biggest and most serious threat to the security of the Pope would be coming from jihadist groups, whether international or local. If it will be recalled, earlier that year, in June 2014, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the so-called Caliph of the Islamic State, announced the establishment of the Caliphate, with his spokesman promising, among others, to plant the black flag of the ISIS in the Basilica in Rome. Also, it will be recalled, further back in 1995, during the visit of Pope John Paul II, a terrorist plot targeting the Pope was discovered and disrupted. The plotters included Al-Qaeda operatives Ramzi Youssef, who masterminded the first World Trade Center bombing, and Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who masterminded the second World Trade Center bombing. On this basis, it was further assessed that jihadists, whether local, particularly foreign jihadists, if they were to mount an operation in the Philippines targeting the Pope, they would need to enlist the assistance of local jihadist groups. The assistance will come in the form of logistics, that's meaning explosives, firearms, vehicles, safe houses, and intelligence, which includes surveillance and operational data collection. Included among the local jihadist groups which may lend support to these international terrorist groups who could be planning to target the Pope are the following: the Abu Sayyaf, the BIFF, Islamic converts to Islam belonging to the Raha Sulaiman movement, and the remnants of the Indonesian Jemaah Islamiyah in Mindanao led by Marwan. Therefore, to reduce the threat coming from these foreign terrorists like ISIS and Al-Qaeda against the Pope, it was very important we recommended the following steps to the Cabinet Cluster and to the security sector present therein. We recommend that we sustain operations against the Abu Sayyaf in the Basulta area to keep them off-balanced. We also recommended to conduct continuing operations against the BIFF in central Mindanao during that period before and during after the papal visit. We also recommended that we mount a legal offensive to arrest and rearrest the dangerous jihadists who may have either been recently arrested or were unaccounted for in the past. And lastly, to conduct a special targeted operations to neutralize remnants of the Jemaah Islamiyah in the southern Philippines and their local support groups. This was particularly targeted against the group.
Madam Chair,
Marwan.
sorry. Secretary, sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. I apologize. But we're trying to drive at some point here. Madam Chair, is it okay if I ask, was the AFP and PNP, were they working together on these projects, or were they also compartmentalized to certain groups?
I believe the President gave instructions for them to coordinate.
So they were working together, and you were part of this. Do you confirm this, Secretary Gasmin?
Yes, Your Honor, I confirm.
How about Secretary Rojas?
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, Secretary Gasmin and I jointly signed the list of rewards to be given by the Philippine government to include Marwan and several others of these high-value terrorist targets.
So I guess yung puntos po natin bakit naiba yung meron tayong sa konteksto po nung operation nung Exodus, may wider context ng war against terrorism. Pero bakit naiba dito? Kailangan ba talagang sikreto? What is your analysis, Secretary Garcia?
Operations against high-value targets like Marwan, among others, is always a very classified and a very where special operational security protocols are observed. So that is the nature of this kind of operation.
Thank you, Secretary. Madam Chair, I'd like to ask General Delgado, who earlier, sir, you testified that the President asked you to provide air support. Is that correct? What time did he give you those instructions? Is that January? I assume that's January 25th, no? The
Yes,
day-
sir, Your Honor. He gave me the instructions a few minutes before he took off. He took off at 9:01, so I presume it was 15 minutes before he took off.
9:01. And what action was taken upon those instructions?
I initially asked our A3 and A2 regarding information on the operations, and after seeing that they were not aware of the operations, I called on the West Mincom Commander, General Guerrero, to inform him of the instructions of the President, and asked also at the same time on on information regarding the operation, which General Guerrero has not much information about the operation. And likewise, the 3rd Air Division Commander to also relay the instruction of the President to alert the aircraft. And at that time, we don't have helicopters in Cotabato City.
Pero may pinalipad eventually. Saan ang galing ho yung helicopters?
Sir, the West Mincom directed the...
Zamboanga? Galing
Yes, sir, Sambuanga.
Okay. Anyway, thank you, General Delgado. General Guerrero, you testified earlier that you texted, was it General Napeñas or General Purisima, na parating na po yung suporta ng AFP in the form of infantry, artillery, and tank support. Anong oras po yan?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, it's 8:03 a.m.
Thank you, General. Can I ask General Purisima, sir, meron ho kayong text exchange na nabanggit na nung ni Senator Enrile ni Senator Gingona kay Pangulo. At tinext nyo siya ng 7:36 a.m. They are presently in contact with reinforcing elements from BIFF. The containment forces are the ones in contact right now. They are supported by mechanized and artillery support, sir. 7:36 po yun. I'm just wondering, ano yung basehan nyo yung pag-text nun? Kasi 8:30 pa ho dumating yung text ni General Guerrero. So, matanong lang ho sa inyo.
Your Honor, the information I have been providing with the President came from Police Director Napeñas.
So, yung sinabi nyong they are supported by mechanized and artillery support, galing po kay General Napeñas yan?
Actually, Your Honor, if you will check the time, I think it was later. That,
Parang hindi kasi
I sent-
yung sequence yung kung bakit dapat nauna yung text ni General Guerrero kaysa
Nauna,
sa
sir,
text
yung
niya.
text ni General Guerrero before the text to the President, Your Honor.
Well, that's what we have on record, no? Yung text niyo kay Presidente is 7:36, yung text po ni General Guerrero sa inyo is 8:30. So parang may konting maybe General Napeñas, anong masasabi niyo po rito?
Your Honor, Madam Chair, the first time they had texted to request for artillery support through General Talino was 7:53 in the morning, because at that time, he was then at the Mechanized Brigade headquarters. The text message was addressed to General Talino. The second text message that I requested for artillery support is at 7:55 in the morning. The text message went to Police Director General Porissima and Deputy Director General Espina, and again to Police Chief Superintendent Talino. I will read it. At 7:55 a.m. Sir, location of subtroops, GC 68006, 65717, and 68234, 65056. Nasa paligid ng first grid coordinate Macalaban at tuloy pa rin heavy firefight. Napindan tropa sa first grid coordinate at mayroong mga casualties sila. Baka pwede hingi artillery support. Again, sir.
Okay, Madam Chair, yung tanong po kasi natin is, we want to know why General Purisima texted the President at 7:36 na they are supported by mechanized and artillery support. Before 7:36, may text ho ba kayo kay General Purisima na suportado na po yung 55th at 84th SAF ng mechanized at artillery support? Meron ho ba kayong text na ganon?
None, Your Honor. That's why I emphasized that the first time that I requested for artillery support is at 7:53, followed by at 7:55, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, General Peñas, Madam Chair. Yung
Your Honor.
concept po ng time on target, ito pa yung first operation, yung Exodus, ang first operation na magkakaroon ng time on target?
No, sir. Even in the other operations of the 84th SAC, that concept was being followed, sir.
Well, let me be more specific. Yung concept na time on target na ino-notify niyo po yung friendly forces, namely the 6th ID, namely Police PNP Chief Espina, doon lang sila mano-notify upon entry into... Kasi dati kasama nyo sila tapos hindi nyo nakukuha dahil nakaka-escape po, di ba? So ang tanong ko po, ito ba yung first operation na talagang sinikreto ninyo at yung time on target talagang as may be necessary lamang?
Hindi rin po, sir. Meron din previous operations, yung 84th SAC doon sa Zamboanga, na ganyan yung concept na sinusunod nila po.
So hindi nyo sinabihan ang Chief PNP nun?
No, sir. In that case, yung mga previous operations...
Yung AFP, hindi nyo po kasama dun sa sinasabi nyo?
Yung AFP friendly forces po at saka yung PNP friendly forces na sinasabihan, time on target, sir. But then the commanders dito sa taas, even before na mag-jump off or some minutes or hours before na mag-jump off, sir, na-informan na sila or even na during na nagja-jump off na yun.
Sa tingin niyo po, Madam Chair, General Lapeñas, when did you first notify or signal for help from the AFP? Mga 4 a.m. ba? 5 a.m.? Ano yung first text ninyo? Medyo maaga na ng umaga yun, di ba?
That's about 4:35,
4:35.
4:38. But then nabasa nga, sir, na
Ano yung trigger nun? Ano yung trigger for that text from you?
The trigger is the coordination that we will inform friendly forces when the troops are already on the target.
Hindi, bakit ho kayo humingi ng saklolo? Nakatanggap ba kayo ng text mula kay Train o kaya sa ibang member ng 84th na nangangailangan sila ng tulong? O nakuha na nila yung, di ba may bingo, Mike 1, signal na nakuha nyo na yung daliri, di ba? So ano yung trigger nyo to ask for help from the AFP?
Expectedly, sir, Your Honor, dahil yung lugar na yon, it's part of the assumption na magre-react yung mga MILF. So as early as those times, ay humihingi na kami ng tulong din sa extraction, Your Honor.
Yung time on target, tingin nyo, was it a successful concept? Was it successfully executed, General?
Yes, Your Honor, because the foremost and one of the most important consideration in these operations is operational secrecy, operational security, to ensure that the main assault force will not be compromised along the way, considering that they will be walking 5 kilometers, that 5 hours. So we have to exercise maximum operational security, Your Honor.
Kung may babalik po natin yung panahon, of course, madali yung analysis po namin, General, Madam Chair. Pero may iibahin ba kayo dun sa operation kung may chance kayo? Would you have notified the AFP earlier, 1 hour earlier? Would you have told them earlier? Would you have still operated the time on target concept po?
It's about, napakahirap po sorry na balansehin yun, Your Honor. Babalansehin mo, nasisiguraduhin mo na hindi maglilik yung trabaho dahil it's either mainformahan yung kalaban.
Na-stuck yung 84th ng 2 oras sa tubig, di ba? Hindi ho ba?
Hindi sir 2 oras.
Isang oras?
1 hour, sir.
So,
yung pagtawid nila.
umalis sila ng 2 a.m., ang goal nila makarating kagad sa bahay ni Marwan, di ba?
Nasa before yung river sila, sir, mga 2:20, 2:30.
Ultimong anong oras sila nakarating?
Nakarating sila, sir, mga 4:15 doon sa
Would it
bahay
not
ni
have been better to notify the AFP at 2 a.m. pagkaalis na nila? O takot kayo na sisingaw yon?
Napakahirap po yun, sir, kasi kung may 2 oras pa, mateksan lang o malaman lang ng kabila yung movement yon. In 1 minute or 2 minutes, pag nakababa yung tao, nakatakbo ng 200, 300 meters from the house, hindi mo na makukuha. And that happened dun sa boutique operations, Your Honor.
Thank you, General. Dito sa text exchange po ni General Purisima at ni Pangulo, ang pagkaintindi ni Pangulo, if I remember correctly, 160 SAF troopers were directly involved in this operation. Yun ba yung pagkapaliwanag nyo sa kanya? O may konting difference between his understanding at dun sa paliwanag ninyo?
During the briefing doon sa Malacanang, Your Honor, na-lay down namin yung troops na gagamitin. Na yung containment doon sa loob at saka yung containment dito sa labas. That's why, yun nga, yung 160 yung mga nasa loob, the rest of the 392 ay nandito for sa containment din sa labas.
Kaninong decision yung magpasok 2 squadron lang or 2 grupo lang? Tapos pero may nakabantay yun, di ba? Parang may tutulong sa retreating force. May grupo yon.
Yes, Your Honor. Kasama po sa plano yan na ginawa ng mission planning group.
Ang tanong, anong role nung 41st, 42nd, and 45th? Bakit hindi sila pumasok eventually nung nagkakagirian na po? Kasi by 1:30 patay na po lahat ng 55th, di ba? Ang trabaho ng 55th, sila yung magbabantay doon sa 84th. Pero ang nangyari, sila yung na-ambush, di ba? So, bakit habang ina-ambush sila, hindi na pumasok po yung 41st, yung 42nd, at saka yung 45th?
Yun nga po yung oras na kasama na yung Army at saka yung 45th at saka yung 41st na sinasabi niyo, Your Honor, napapasok. Then there was, in the 42nd, there is an open field na hindi sila makatawid. They did their best na tumawid dun sa open field pero hindi nga po makatawid because of the heavy volume of fire.
Yung open field, gaano kalayo po yung kalaban?
More or less, sabi nila mga 300 to 400 meters. Kasi ang distansya na lang yung...
Bakit hindi finire yung sinasabing 55 caliber na 1 kilometer po yung distansya?
Hindi po makikita kasi sa highway po yung mga armor assets at yung sa loob is more than 1 kilometer to 2 kilometers na, sir, yun eh. Hindi mo makikita. 1 kilometer plus. Kaya hindi mo makikita yun sa looban.
Yung meeting nyo nung January 9 kay Presidente, ilan yung pinadagdag niyang tropa? Ilan yung original na pinopose nyo? Ilan yung pinadagdag niya?
Less than 300 yung original, sir, then nagiging less than 400.
So nagpadagdag siya ng 100?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
More or less yun, sir, yung dagdag,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, thank you. Just two more questions, Madam Chair. Kay General, andito ba si General Marquez? Sir, anong analysis niyo po ng Oplan Exodus? Have you made an analysis of the plan?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, of course we read, sir, the report of the Board of Inquiry, and let me highlight some of the findings of the Board of Inquiry as to the planning. According to the report, sir, the planning was done only by a group of officers. There was actually no planning team. And as such, the BOI made this conclusion that the plan was defective from the very beginning because of the following. There was a poor analysis of the area of operations. There were unrealistic assumptions. There was poor intel estimate. There was absence of abort criteria. There was lack of flexibility in the concept of operations. The application of the time on target manner of coordination was inappropriate. And of course, the absence of prior coordination. Madam Chair, Your Honor, there was no indication that a real contingency planning was done. In a high-risk operation like Exodus, I think that a real contingency planning should have been done. And it is manifested by the fact that there were no written contingency plans. We also surmise after reading the plan, Madam Chair, Your Honor, that for a high-risk operation like Exodus, we felt that the national headquarters, the directorial staff of the NHQ, could have contributed in to the thoroughness of the plan in the following perspective. We could have provided some strategic inputs insofar as the primacy of the peace process is concerned, because the BOI report was very clear in saying that peace process was never discussed during the whole planning process. We could also have pointed out that the TOT could only be applicable on low-risk operation in urban centers, but obviously dangerous, if not fatal, in a high-risk operation like Exodus. As Director of Operations, I could have insisted the conduct of a full-scale contingency planning, Madam Chair, Your Honor. And when I say full-scale contingency planning, scenarios should be debated, actions planned should be listed, resources needed should be made available on the ground, and a mechanism for decision-making should have been put in place, just like what I did during the APEC operations, Madam Chair, Your Honor.
Can we get the comments of General Napeñas dun sa, especially dun po sa lack of abort criteria in contingency planning? Baka naman hindi sinulat kasi nga sinisekreto niyo. Meron ho ba kayong abort criteria or contingency planning?
We have contingency plans. We have abort criteria.
Hindi lang naisulat ho.
Nandito po, sir.
Opo.
Nakalagay po yan during the briefing,
Sinong
presentation,
nakakaalam
and
mo yan?
deliberation. All the operating troops commanders, yung mission planning group, I would disagree that there was no planning team. There was a mission planning group.
Can we just establish, Madam Chair, sinong nakakaalam po nung contingency plan? Ito ba yung mga commanders, sila Train?
Yes,
Train
Your
knows
Honor.
about that. And then, anong pangalan nung nag-head dun sa 55th?
Si Iranya, Your Honor. Senior Inspector Iranya.
Iranya,
Tapi.
alam niya. So
They
lahat
know all
ng
these
lahat ng
things.
hepe nung mga yung 41st, 42nd, 45th, alam nila yan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mhm.
And I would like also to disagree that there were no contingencies and there were no abort criteria. There were. I would like also to disagree that there was no detailed planning. We have been doing this from Wolverine, 1, 2, 3, Terminator 1 and 2, then Exodus.
I think si Senator Enrile wants to ask a question.
Senator Angara, yes.
Opo.
Senator
With the
Enrile.
permission of
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
General Marquez, as a professional soldier, when a project is compartmented by the President, can you do the normal planning system that you are saying? Can you interfere as a Director of Operation of the PNP in a compartmented operation?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, I said that we could have, had it been.
That is correct. That is why you are using a subjunctive term.
Yes, Your
That's
Honor.
correct. If it is a normal procedure that it goes into the command system, then all of that, what you're saying, would have happened. You can put your inputs. But this operation is exceptional. It was compartmented by the President himself. Can you interfere with your President if he compartments a project?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, I believe that the Director staff could ask for inputs. I don't think the President prevented him from asking inputs from other officers in developing that plan, Your Honor.
Kaya ka sinabi niya, sabihan mo yung dalawa pag nandun na. Meaning he will exclude everybody below OIC Espina and Secretary Rojas. What were you then? You're just an operation officer of the armed forces of the National Police. You're below the chief PNP.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor. Yes.
So, if he
just to
excluded
clarify-
your heads,
Senator Enrile,
Yes.
just to clarify, I think it was General Purisima who specifically said to exclude Secretary Rojas and also Director General Espina, not the President.
well, he was in the room with the President. And
No,
that's
I
why
think he
said
said this
he
when
blunted
they stepped
immediate-
aside. Please clarify,
Anyway,
General Purisima.
this is a matter of debate on what went on inside that room. Only General Purisima can tell the world if they were kissing each other or discussing.
Your Honor, Madam Chair, when we entered the room of the President, he was just telling me about the music system that he has, the new amplifiers and the new speakers. And, Your Honor, that is why I have been telling you all earlier that this plan was planned by the PNP-SAP. You have already heard the statement of our Police Director Napeñas that there was a mission planning group by PNP-SAP. That's why they have considered all the details of that. And then they were the ones who implemented the operations. That's why our role with the President is only informatory, Your Honor. We were just giving some inputs during the course of the briefing, but we were not substituting the decision of the Director SAF.
Madam Chair, just a few more questions.
Go ahead.
Just a few more,
continue
Madam Chair.
with your line of questioning,
Yes.
Senator.
General Napeñas, according to, I was reviewing the testimonies of some of our witnesses before, at lumalabas na yung mga, like yung 6IB, hindi nila alam na may 55th SAF pa dun sa, I think bandang hapon na nila na, tama ho ba yan? Anong oras nyo nalaman na may 55th pala? General Pangilinan, Madam Chair. I remember you saying that it was sometime after lunch, so maybe 3, 4, 5, something like that.
No, sir, around
5 p.m.
Your Honor.
Ang tanong, General, Madam Chair, bakit hindi na-convey sa kanila na meron pa palang isang grupo doon na bagamat hindi sila yung focus nung investigation kasi wala sa kanila si Marwan, pero sila yung naging agrabyado, kumbaga, looking back. Bakit hindi yung coordinates nila hindi nabigyan na maaga sa AFP?
I would disagree again, Your Honor. Early in the morning, nag-text si Colonel Del Rosario papunta kay General Palinginan. 2 grupo sila sa loob. If we go back, doon sa text messages ni Colonel Del Rosario, nandoon po yon. Second,
What time was that, yung kay General Del Rosario? Anong oras po yan?
i-check lang natin yung exact
sige. Okay.
time, Your Honor.
Alright. But
There were
morning
coordinates.
before lunch. Before lunch yun.
Yes, Your Honor, before lunch. That's maybe about 8:30 or 9, something like that. But there were coordinates. I was reading already earlier grid coordinates. And that came from the GPS that the troops were using on the ground. That's why it is even 10-digit. That's about to the nearest 1 meter, Your Honor.
Just my last questions, Madam Chair. General Napeñas, did you order the NSOY or the operator to broadcast a ceasefire at 1:30 p.m.?
Again, it's not a ceasefire, Your Honor. That's the same thing that I answered when Senator Ginguna asked me about it. It's about hold your ground, hold on to your position, do not move forward so that it will not be misunderstood that we are continuing.
Buhay pa ba nun yung tao ng 55th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Buhay pa sila noon, 1:30? Hindi ba nag-issue ng ang NSOY, hindi ba nag-issue ng kung meron pang buhay dyan sa 55th, please press your tap your radios? Di ba may ganong may na ganun nangyari tapos walang nag-tap? Ibig sabihin, parang patay na silang lahat?
Wala na po, Sir, Your Honor. About 1:30, magkakaharap kami. Nakaharap ako sa radio, nandun si Insoy. Doon namatay yung radio, Your Honor.
So 1:30, alam niyong patay na sila?
No, I do not know na patay sila.
Pero what was your inference from na walang sumagot sa radyo?
Ang inference ko, Your Honor, it's either tinamaan yung radio or
baka nagbabarilan pa.
O nagbabarilan or namatay na sila. You cannot make a conclusion at that point, Your Honor.
I understand, General Napeñas. General Napeñas, I read a tweet from a reporter na nagbigay daw kayo ng interview at tinanong kayo to comment on the Senate investigation at sinabi nyo nabuksan yan dahil sa politika. Did you say that?
No, Your Honor.
So, nagsisinungaling po yung reporter na yon.
I do not know kung sino yung reporter, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hindi ko nga nabasa
hindi
po yan.
Hindi sinabi yun. So, tingin nyo, hindi pa mumulitika ito ang ginagawa namin.
Has always been na sinasabi ko, Your Honor, let us give chance to the Senate to do their job, yung mandato nila.
So, trabaho lang ho ito, hindi ito pa mumulitika.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. Last question, Madam Chair, to the men of the AFP and the PNP. It's a general question directed to our armed forces. At any point on January 25th, especially from 7 a.m. when the President knew, was there an order to stand down or to withhold support? Kasi may kumakalat na balita na ganun na because of the peace process, si Pangulo ay nagbigay ng order na stand down. I'd like to address it and go around the table kung merong ganong order. I think si General Pangilinan already testified earlier na wala Walang ganon. Can we ask General Guerrero and go down the line po?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, I did not receive any stand-down order from my direct superior, Chief of Staff General Katapang, nor from the President himself, Your Honor.
General Katapang.
Madam Chair, Your Honor, I did not order a stand down, neither did I receive an order from the President to stand down.
General Iriberi, ano ba ho kayo nun? What were you? Were you in Zamboanga at that time?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, I was still the commanding general of the Philippine Army.
Nasa Zamboanga ho kayo nun?
No, I was in my headquarters at in Fort Bonifacio.
Sa Manila po?
Yes.
So you were not aware of ongoing events?
I was not aware, Your Honor.
Okay.
And, by the way,
maybe we can ask Secretary Guzmin. Oh, go ahead, sir. You were saying something.
as the current Chief of Staff now, Your Honors, there were issues raised against the armed forces pertaining to the alleged delay in reinforcement, alleged stand-down order, and alleged delay in the delivery of artillery support fires to the beleaguered SAF troops. May we be allowed to present a briefing to clear these issues, Your Honors?
Siguro, Madam Chair, after the question, and then they can do the briefing.
We will consider the briefing. If you can give me first a hard copy of your briefing so we can determine if we will have the time for that. But at the moment, we will go ahead and allow the senators to ask their questions. Please go and answer.
I'm not against the presentation, Madam Chair.
No,
but
I agree,
maybe
but
let's dispose of the matter first at hand.
I agree. Yeah. Please answer the question of Senator Angara, and then if you have an advanced copy of a hard copy of your briefing, please submit it to me.
Can we ask Secretary Guzmin, was there any order of such?
I'm not aware of any stand-down order from the Chief of Staff.
Secretary Mar, was there any order to put the peace panel or peace process ahead of saving the SAF? Was there any such order?
There was no such order. I did not hear personally of any such order, and I'm not aware of any such order, and neither did I give any such order.
Thank you, Secretary. Chief PNP. Yeah.
Sir, as I aforestated, I was in Manila during that whole day, sir. So, I was not with the President.
Okay. General Marquez, would you have had a chance to be with the President that day?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, I was in Clark managing APIC operations at the time. So, I was not included in that loop, Your Honor.
General Purisima. At saka, General Purisima, between 11 and 6, wala na kayong communication ni Pangulo kasi yan yung sequence nung text ninyo eh.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, it was I have nothing to report to the President, Your Honor. That's why there was no communication, Your Honor.
Okay. Pero wala ring stand-down order?
There was no stand-down. I was in Nueva Ecija, Your Honor, that time, and I was not with the President.
Okay. How about, can we ask the PNP hierarchy, Superintendent Talino?
Your Honor, there was an order for me to receive any information about the stand-down there.
About Superintendent Basbas, Mendez, then we'll ask.
Madam Chair, Your Honor, I have not received any stand-down order.
Madam Chair, Your Honor, I did not receive anything, but I was not part of the tactical operation, Your Honor.
General na Peña.
Sir, in regards to yung sinasabi nila kanina na hindi nila alam yung dalawang grupo sa loob. Ito po, sir, yung...
sagutin na muna ho yung tanong, yung standing question. No? Yung...
I'm sorry, wala po...
Walang ganon. Ho.
Wala po kaming natanggap na ganon na order.
Kasi you were not in direct contact with the President anyway.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah. How about, what's the findings? Meron ho bang finding na ganon? Kasi yun yung linalabas sa ibang media outlets na the peace process was the cause for the slow action daw. Kaya mabagal yung action dahil inuna daw yung peace process. But we'd like to finally come to the truth, Madam Chair.
Your Honor, Madam Chair, as head of the Board of Inquiry, we have not received any material evidence that would establish that there was a stand-down order.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm satisfied with the answers. Thank you, Madam Chair.
By the third quarter of 2014, the initial intelligence estimate on the papal visit was completed and presented to the President and the Cabinet Cluster on Security. In our estimate, we assessed that the biggest and most serious threat to the security of the Pope would be coming from jihadist groups, whether international or local. If it will be recalled, earlier that year, in June 2014, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the so-called Caliph of the Islamic State announced the establishment of the caliphate, with his spokesman promising, among others, whether particularly foreign jihadists, if they were to mount an operation in the Philippines targeting the Pope, they would need to enlist the assistance of local jihadist groups. The assistance will come in the form of logistics, that's meaning explosives, firearms, vehicles, safe houses, and intelligence, which includes surveillance and operational data collection. Included among the local jihadist groups which may lend support to these international terrorist groups who could be planning to target the Pope are the following: the Abu Sayyaf, the BIFF, to plant the black flag of the ISIS in the Basilica in Rome. Also, it will be recalled further back in 1995, during the visit of Pope John Paul II, a terrorist plot targeting the Pope was discovered and disrupted. The plotters included Al-Qaeda operatives Ramzi Youssef, who masterminded the first World Trade Center bombing, and Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who masterminded the second World Trade Center bombing. On this basis, it was further assessed that jihadists.
Senator Angara is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. I'd like to ask a few questions from Secretary of National Security, Secretary Garcia, Cesar Garcia, Madam Chair. I'd like to ask, what was the situation with Marwan? Why was Marwan such a big target? And why was it important to keep the, in your view, was it a correct decision to keep the operation top secret?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, the operations against Zulkifli bin Hir, alias Marwan, a Malaysian terrorist who is included in the United Nations 1267 sanctions list of terrorists, was part of a larger security operations mounted during the papal visit in January 2015. As a backgrounder, where it was confirmed that His Holiness Pope Francis will come to the Philippines, our intelligence community went into high gear to gather information and better assess the security threats to the Pope.